Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Dallas Stars franchise mode. So in last episode we had another tough first round and we had to face the St. Louis Blues for the second straight year, and unfortunately we could not get it done again in a 7-game series, as we just could not be consistent in terms of our goals against. And anyways, we're up here in the off season looking to continue what we're doing and build a good foundation of prospects. We do have a lot of good ones that are coming up to the NHL probably for next season, and we're looking to add a couple more. So as you can see down in the minors, we currently have Street, who's a pretty good prospect, but he's already 22, so he might end up being more of a bottom 6 kind of guy. We also have Kessel, who could maybe make it as a depth guy potentially. And then Wells is probably going to be a pretty good prospect still. He's listed as a depth forward already. He probably will be on the 4th line next season maybe. And then McCardle's a prospect, but I don't know if he's going to make it. Johnson, another good solid forward prospect. Same with Helmerson. And I think that might be it for forwards. Oh yeah, we also have Clancy. He's still a couple years away, but he is only 18, because when we drafted him he was 17. We also have Antilla, who's a good prospect, and same with Shelton Hewitt. So we got a decent amount of good forward prospects. And then defensively, this guy, Thomas Lindback, we drafted years ago, but he might make it as a top 6 defenseman this season, or as a depth defender, maybe one of the two. And yeah, there's a couple other guys that are already jumped to the NHL based on this. So Taze is another guy that's going to make his NHL debut next season probably. And same with Mr. Keith Drake as well. He played a bit this season, but then we just sent him back down to the minors where he did really well. So I'm hoping he has a good season next year. And yeah, let's get into the retirements first, because we have to do retirements, because I didn't do that in last episode. And then we will get to the draft and resign stage, and hopefully we could get free agency done in this episode. I know I'd like to, but I don't know how long the episode would be if I did all that in one episode, so we'll see. So, the Washington Capitals have the first overall pick, followed by the Winnipeg Jets and the Edmonton Oilers, Ottawa at number 4, and Pittsburgh at number 5. Also, we did trade away our first round pick for this year a couple episodes ago for Sador, who came from Tampa Bay. We also got rid of our first for next season as well, so we want to be competitive this upcoming season, and hopefully we could get past that first round and get to the finals at least, because I don't like giving up early picks. And that's a good sign for us here, as Brett Hull has retired at 37 years old. So Brett Hull was one of those players that was dominant against us in those playoffs, this last playoffs and the year before, and he's been a consistent player during the regular season. So it's good that he's gone, because he was a big piece of that St. Louis Blues team. And yeah, they still have Craig Janney, it looks like, and Brendan Shanahan, but at least Hull is gone. So Cam Neely also retires. Russ Courtnall retires with us. So there's a retirement, which is good because it frees up a roster spot. So best of luck in retirement to Russ Courtnall. Peter Stastny retires at 45 years old. Jeez, how did he play so long? Because he was already like 40 years old at the start of this. I think maybe 38 or so, but still. Adam Oates retires as well. Danton Cole, Scott Mellenby, Christian Rutu, Murray Craven, Scott Stevens with the Oilers. That's kind of weird. Sylvain Turgeon, Pelly Eklund retires with the Boston Bruins, a former player of ours in year number 1 and 2, I think, or so. Alia Frady retires with the Boston Bruins. Nikolai Borchevsky, Ray Ferraro, a couple big names actually. Michael Pavanka, Kirk Muller, who we signed, but I don't think we ever played, or maybe we played for a couple games. Yeah, we played for 27 games during the season. So, yeah, he wasn't that bad of a depth guy, but unfortunately we could not get him another cup. Looks like he went to the cup finals with Montreal. I don't remember if Montreal's won in this build or not. Kevin Dineen also retires. Rick Tocchet, Tom Curvers, okay, Mark Lamb, Doug Brown, tons of guys, holy. Corey Millen, Steve Thomas retiring in the AHL, Paul Eisenberg, yeah, it's Eisenberg, I'm pretty sure, retires with the Ducks. Jamie Baker retires, Sean Burr retires, Kelly Miller. Hopefully we get some guys that become like coaches in this. Norm McIver retires, Mike Donnelly, Todd Crygier, Brian Benning, Damn, there's so much. Bob Sweeney, Wayne Presley, Mike Stapleton, Rich Sutter, Dmitry Kvartalov, Dave Manson as well, Brad Shaw, Kelly Butchberger. Damn, a lot. This might be the biggest retirement class we've had so far. I think Ron Stern, Jeff Norton, Todd Gill, Kerry Huffman, Paul Stanton, Michelle Petit, Ely Krupp, Luciano Borsato, Jeff Bookaboom, Bob Probert, rest in peace, Jeff Finley, Brent Hughes, Chris King. Damn, it's like everybody. Paul Broughton. We had him, I think, in year number 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we had him in year number 1 and 2, and then we got rid of him. Mike Peluso, Warren Reichel, Darren Kimball, Darcy Lowen, and that might be it. Hopefully it is. Nope, Gerald the Duck, Stephen Finn, holy crap. Sorry if I'm just listing off names, but there's so much of them. Brent Severin as well, Nick Kiprios. Maybe he'll become that guy that he was on Sportsnet, because he's no longer anymore there. Mark Ferner, and I think that might be it. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be it for forwards and defensemen. We didn't need to check the goalies. Okay, goalie-wise for retirements. Ken Reggett decides to retire at 38 years old, as well as Darren Pupa and Tom Barrasso. So a couple Penguins legends. Tom Barrasso retires with the Flames. Vincent Riendeau as well retires. Grant Fuhrer retires. Kind of an overrated goalie in real life, in my opinion, but he retires. Chris Terreri retires. Mikhail Shintalenko retires. Wendell Young retires. And Darren Medeli as well retires at 34. And that is it for goalie retirement. So a pretty big retirement class. Hopefully we get somebody become a coach. It doesn't look like it. There's some coach retirements as well. Did we lose anybody in the AHL? Hopefully not. No, we did not lose a single coach, which is good. And looks like we have nobody becoming coaches again, which is really annoying, because I thought that we'd have a lot of guys becoming coaches in this type of thing, but it doesn't happen. Okay, so we're up here at the draft. Let's see what we could get in every round except for the first round. Hopefully we could make a pretty good steal, because we're like probably like a mid or late second round pick, which is not that good. And we gave up that pick to Tampa Bay, which is probably going to be, yeah, it's this one that we gave them, 16th overall, and they have 13th, so they have a decent amount of picks. So let's see what Washington gets, and it's going to be Jake Mobbs, left wing power forward, so that's a good goal scorer for them, maybe like an Ovechkin type of idea. Bjorkstrand goes to the Jets. Okay. Edmonton's going to take DeBoer, sniper. The Sens take Markstrom, another sniper. And the Penguins are going to take Molson, who's a top 4. Is that an offensive defenseman or defensive? I think it's defensive. It's hard to distinguish the O and the D in this. Okay, let's zoom to our pick now and see if we could steal anything at number 47. Hopefully we can. Hopefully we could at least get a top 4 or top 6. So there is some good defensemen. I did pin somebody, I remember, but I don't know if it was this round or next round. Didn't I pin somebody? I think I did. Let me just see. Yeah, this guy is supposed to go next round, so I'll probably take him in the next round. This guy's supposed to go around now, but he's a low top 6. And then there's a potential low elite guy in this guy. He might be a top 4, but I might take him because he's supposed to go this round. I think he's supposed to go this round, or maybe that might be early next round, but I think I might take him anyways. Yeah, he's a 17-year-old right-handed defenseman. Hopefully he's a medium top 4 and not a top 6 defenseman, because I don't like that. So Muller, welcome aboard, or Mueller. And he's a low top 4, so he could potentially make it. So that's not a bad pick. Being only 17 years old, hopefully he develops pretty well. We're going to definitely give him some time to play in Germany, I think. Probably no, the SHL. Isn't he German, though? With that type of name, you'd think he's German. Okay, let's move to our next pick and see if we can get that other dude that I had pinned. Now there's a low top 4 right there. This guy has the potential to be maybe a high elite goalie. 4 years away though. So that guy would be a bit of a project. It wouldn't be bad to get another goalie prospect just because of the fact that Nabokov's been dropping the ball in the playoffs. But I don't know if I want to get him or not. There's a lot of risk taking goalies in the draft sometimes. Do I want to take this guy? You know what? I think I might risk it and just go with this guy. This guy's a Polish goaltender. We don't see a lot of Polish goalies. He didn't have the greatest few seasons over there in Sweden. He actually had one good season. But yeah, we could let this guy play over in Sweden for a couple of years and then see if he's good enough. So yeah, let's bring in Amir Depenta and see how good he is. And he's high elite. Holy, he is actually high elite. Okay, that's a good pick. So we might actually replace Nabokov then with this guy, because this is a really interesting idea. Don't know how, this guy is kind of solid balanced ways. Yeah, this guy could be a good goalie. We just got to give him time to develop. So I think that's a good one to have, especially if we go into a rebuild stage, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Let's do our 4th round pick. No, I don't really want to make a trade LA, no thanks. I might auto-sim the rest of the draft if there's nobody good, because it looks like there's going to be, HL top 6 forwards. Any steals still? We could just take this Kuzino guy just because he's listed as, he has 3 years left. You know what, we're going to just take this Kuzino guy, even though it's way too early, and then sim the rest. A bottom 6? Oh damn, I thought he was going to be like a low elite. Okay. Let's sim the rest of the draft and see what the computer snags us. Hopefully we could get some good young prospects in. So the computer got us Jar, Linzen, and Law. Okay. So let's get into the Resign stage. Episode is around 12 minutes, so we might be able to do free agency in this episode. We'll see. So Edmonton trades a 2nd for a 2nd and a 5th. Okay. Or gets a 2nd for a 2nd and 5th. And then Ottawa acquires Patrick Karn back in a 2nd for a 2nd to LA. So a couple teams moving up in the draft, it looks like. Nothing too special. Okay, let's get to that re-sign stage. Let's re-sign our associate coach. Hopefully our associate coach will sign, because I maybe don't know if it's our coach that's the reason why we've been kind of a bad team. If it is, then maybe we want a new head coach. This guy won us the Stanley Cup before, so I don't think it's our coach. Okay, now we have our scouts to get back as well. Sucks that we have a lot of scouts to re-sign, because I hate when they pop up over your players that you're trying to re-sign as well. Okay, so we'll get everybody back except for the NHL scout, because I don't need no NHL scouts. I find NHL scouts are pointless in this at least. Okay, so I think that is almost all of them. Kobasu. Let's just make sure. Bowman as well. And I think that's it. Yeah, because we don't need this dude. We don't need an NHL Central scout. And yeah, that's it for scouts. Okay. So hopefully we don't have a lot of RFAs hold out like last year, because last year we had a lot of guys trying to hold out, but eventually they re-signed with us. So let's just go to our unsigned guys first. We're not going to give any of these guys contracts yet, because Clancy would still be in the OHL, I think, anyways. Yeah, he would be. So we're going to give him a couple more years still to develop, maybe another year at least. Same goes with all these other dudes. I don't think we want to I don't think I want to sign any of these dudes, because I want to make sure they get a good development stage like Depenta. If he has a really good season over there in Sweden, maybe he could be up to, maybe he could be up to like a 60 something, or maybe in the 70s even, depending on his growth. And then let's take a look at the RFAs we have. We don't have a lot of RFAs actually, so we could just hopefully re-sign both of these guys, and hopefully they don't try and hold out. Maybe a lot of them turned into UFAs now. And Michovsky will get you back as well for the minors. And then in terms of our goalie situation in the NHL, I am going to let go of Vokoun. Yeah, because I asked you guys in the last episode if we should go with Vokoun or Nabokov, and I think I'm going to let go of Vokoun. I'm going to give Vokoun a chance to play somewhere else because we do have a goalie in the minors that's technically listed as a backup. And yeah, I would like to give Vokoun a chance to be an actual starter because we're kind of, yeah, he's listed as a starter and we're using him as a backup. It just doesn't seem right. So I'm going to let him go and hopefully he signs with the team he actually played for. Not that Nashville's in this build, but we'll still let him go. And then, yeah, we'll change up the lines a bit for next season. So in terms of UFAs we have in the NHL, we're not going to sign a 7th D-man. This lowly guy we're going to definitely sign, but I don't know if he's going to pan out. Hadar, 64 overall at 20 is not bad, but yeah, I'm not going to sign him, even though he is the top 9. Because Ivnikov, we're not going to get him back. Patrick Ward's going to come in. I think his name's Patrick Ward. We're definitely going to sign him. Top 4 prospect. Quinville, that's not bad. You know what? We're going to sign you. You could be a depth defenseman maybe in the AHL. And then we're going to let go of some of the older dudes like Nyberg. And I will try and bring back Rutar, but he doesn't look like he wants to re-sign. We're going to sign Jacobs for the AHL. Yeah, the AHL has some new good talent, actually. 3 good players going into this, so that's nice. And Haynes as well. Berglund's got to come back, but he doesn't look like he's going to make it. Same with Kessel, probably. And then Cavallini's going this season because he's not doing anything really. Lindback is going to get signed. We're going to give him a good contract, and I think I might play him on the top 6 this year. Because he's a really good power play player, probably. Like, if we put him on the power play, like, his offensive awareness is only an 81, but he had a really good season. He's got a good wrist shot, and he's got really good passing. So if we put him on the power play, he could do really good things, I think. And we have a lot of tough decisions with the NHL. So let's just advance today, get rid of all those other contracts that we just did. Just so we could get into the big boys like Ontown, Lundell, and Sador as well, who we traded for. Okay, so let's just make sure all those guys signed. So Rutar didn't accept, we'll just release him anyways. I think I'm going to let go of Kessel and Berglund, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see in a bit. So Lundell is going to definitely get re-signed. We're going to give you 5 years at 7.3. Or let's go 4, because it's $1 million more. And then Sador, who we traded for, I'm not going to just let him go. I can't do that. We're going to give you a 3-year deal, but I might flip you eventually if you don't perform. And we're going to give you 6.8. As for other older guys, we got a lot of them. Darian Hatcher is still solid to bring back for a bit, so we'll give him a contract. And then, which of these guys do I want to let go of? Because we have a lot of right-handed people. Like, it's a tough one to do. I'm going to let go of Zalapsky and Godinia because they're both getting old, just to see what there is available in free agency. We're going to try and make a lot of moves this year because this team has not had success. LaChance, I'm going to bring back because he's only 29. So we'll give him a 2-year deal just for now at 5.175. Mike Craig, he's probably a player that's going to get replaced by an AHL player, so let's just let go of some of the bottom 6 players as well, like Cam Stewart. Like I said, we might just re-sign these guys again, but I just want to make sure we have the right roster spots for these young guys. Sweeney, he's not too bad either, but he is getting old. Yeah, we're going to let go of Sweeney for now. He might be a depth defenseman next season, but he is probably going to drop off. And then these 2 AHL guys, I am going to resign if I can. It really sucks to let go of a lot of those guys, but we might get them back. So hopefully we do end up needing some of them because I do like a lot of them, but maybe they're the reason we're losing in the playoffs. Like, we need to be a competitive team soon. Okay, as for forwards, I was looking at Donald Dead is 32, Trent Klatt's 32, Scott Young's getting a bit old. Yeah, we're going to let go of Scott Young. He's 34. I want to kind of make this team a bit younger. Viborny's going to come back for 2 years, but he might get flipped in between then, depending on performance. And then Trent Klatt as well is going to get re-signed because he's only 32, but we're going to sign him to a 1-year deal only, just because he is kind of getting up there in age. And also Donald Odette is going to get re-signed for 1 more year as well, because I don't like to keep on to the old guys too much. Like, I would like to replace them eventually. So yeah, a lot of these guys might get the move soon. Jason Bowen's not too bad as well for defenseman. We might sign him for 1 year. Let's go with that. And yeah, let's advance today and see if we get all those guys back. Hopefully we do. We have our scouts still that are accepting. See, this is why I don't like signing scouts right in re-sign stage. It's kind of annoying how it pops up. And we got everybody but Hatcher. Okay. Let me just check our RFA status. Koivunen still is holding out. Let's give him a one-way deal, even though he's not going to be in the NHL. $1 million. There you go. That's the benefit of having no cap, but at the same time, it's kind of unrealistic unless you're doing an older build like this. Okay, so Kessel, yeah, we might not do free agency in this episode just because this re-sign stage is taking a bit. We'll give Kessel $1 million as well to play in the AHL. And same with Berglund, just because these guys don't like to accept two-way deals, it seems like. As for Jaren Hatcher, like I said, he's only 30. I would like to bring him back for a bit. So we'll give him, a 3-year deal like he wants. And we'll give him $6 million on the dot. See if he accepts that. And then I think that's all we have to re-sign. Let's just make sure. Oh, Michalowski's trying to hold out. Damn these AHL guys and their contracts. Like, it seems like the RFA system's kind of broken in this roster build, because just there's too much RFAs, even if they're AHL players that are holding out. Unless that happens in normal franchise mode as well, but I haven't done one of those in a couple months, so I don't remember. Okay, so I think those guys all accepted, yes, and yep, okay. And yep, that is all the contracts. So let's just see what we have currently going into free agency. And then we might re-sign some of those guys that we already had next episode, but we'll see what we got. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 centers. Probably Street might make it as well. Yeah, Street might make it as well. So let's just say 4 for now, though, plus a potential depth. 1, 2, 3, and a potential depth as well. So that's another 11 plus 2, 12, 13 plus 2 depth. So yeah, we might have to not have some of those young guys in the NHL next season, but we do maybe have enough forwards. We only have 2 right wingers, we have 3 left wingers, and then we have 4 centers. So 7, that's only 9. So yeah, we might end up playing some of those 75s on the 4th line, even though it is kind of risky. Like, if we have, well, actually, we don't want to have a bad season because we don't have our first. So yeah, some of those guys might end up just playing in the AHL again, but we do need to sign, it looks like, at least a couple right wingers, 2 right wingers, and then maybe 1 left winger. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need at least 1 more really good defenseman. Let me just write this down for next episode, just because I'm going to forget otherwise. Okay, so, and then goalie-wise, yeah, Simic's going to be our backup next year, and then I guess we're just going to run with Michalowski in the AHL. DePenta's not going to get signed yet, and same with Stafford, okay. So basically we just need 2 right wingers, I think, a left winger, and then a top 4 or a top 2 defenseman. And then in terms of, it depends if I want to actually play those AHL guys or not on the 4th line that are listed as depth forwards. Like, we could sign some depth, but I would like to play those young guys technically, but I don't know. So we could use 2 depth forwards as well, and a depth defenseman. So we do need to sign a lot of stuff, it looks like, for next episode. And one of our scouts didn't accept. It's a QMJHL scout. So I guess we need a QMJHL scout now. Unless I was doubling my scout count, I don't remember. So yeah, we'll just sign this Bordelot dude. Why not? I don't really care about scouting that much, especially for this season. Okay, so let's see what's available in free agency, see if there's anybody we could upgrade our players with. So, wow, okay, there's another good RFA holding out, which is a franchise guy. Seems like every year there's at least one. Okay, so we do need 2 right wingers probably, which in this case Scott Young is still the best. But there is Pat Verbeek, who did win a cup, I think, in Dallas. Ray Shepard, Jocelyn Lemieux. So there is a decent amount of solid right wingers that we could find some like bottom 6 kind of guys. Or we could just play our young guys instead. But then it's risky giving up that pick, especially this year. So if you guys see any right wingers you want me to bring in, let me know down below in the comments. As for defensemen, actually, wait, let's go left wingers first. We should use one left winger out of these guys, and there are some pretty decent ones. That guy's an RFA, but Ray Whitney wouldn't be that bad. He did play in Dallas at one point. Garpenlov, Claude Lapointe, Sergei Brylin. Yeah, there's some decent players out there. Not a whole lot of them, but a decent amount of them. As for a defenseman, we need at least one top, like probably a top 4 defenseman, I'd say. So this guy's an RFA. Zalapsky and Godinuk are the best players there, so we might want to bring one of them back, depending on what you guys think. Or we could go with somebody else like, I don't know, Anders Eriksson. He's listed as a top 4, even though he's technically top 6. And for some reason, he wants a 6-year deal. Probably not going to bring him in. But yeah, if you guys see any defensemen, let me know as well down below. And then goalie-wise, we don't really need a goalie, but if we wanted to upgrade our backup spot, we could technically play our young guy in the that backup goalie in the AHL still. And then we could sign one of these guys like Patrick Wall is available, for example, but I don't really want to do that. I think that's unrealistic. But there is a bunch of other dudes as well, so that's kind of interesting. Dominic Hasek's there as well at 82 overall. It'd be really bad to bring Hasek to Dallas after how he lost in 99. And yeah, I think that's all we need really. We could use probably some depth forwards as well if we need to. So randomly, like say Todd Ellick wouldn't be that bad. Or we could just use our young guys that we currently have. So if you guys see anything available, let me know down below in the comments. Otherwise, I think that's going to do it for this episode, if I'm not mistaken. Don't think there's anything else we want to do. No, there is nothing else we want to do. So anyways, guys, so next episode we will get free agency done. We'll take a look at what computers sign and all that. We'll start up next season, probably go a couple months. And yeah, we'll see how this team plays out. Hopefully we can get past the first round, because I know it's getting probably pretty boring how I just get to the playoffs and then my team just drops it. So we want to have a very competitive season this year, because once again we do not have our first overall pick. So our first round pick, my bad. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.